Hi everyone, and welcome back to the channel. As you know, it's been a few months since I uploaded my last video. We recently welcomed a new member into our family and I switched from wires to diapers for a little while. Now I'm back and full of ideas for new videos. Before we get into the year ahead for this channel, I wanted to thank you as I recently crossed over the 1000 subscribers mark. Your support means a lot to me and helps me stay motivated to produce more awesome content. I really didn't expect to reach that many people with my little computer, and I'm forever grateful. So, what's in store for the channel in 2023? First, there is the 8-bit hex display project I posted a couple of videos about a long time ago. I would like to finish this project to be able to make use of the modules in my computer. We left off a year ago with the MC14495, a vintage binary to 7-segment hex decoder. The next step is to re-implement this chip using programmable logic, which will be the topic of the next video in this series. Then there is the 65C816 computer. As a quick refresher, my goals when starting this series were to build a prototype computer to learn about the CPU and how it works, to use only through-hole and in-stock components, no programmable logic to ease reproducibility, and to make it run at 4 MHz and work with all features of the CPU. For I/O, I wanted to implement a 6522 VIA, a 6521 PIA, and a 6551 ACIA. And finally, I wanted to use a Teensy++ 2.0 as an in-circuit debugger and programmer. Now, some time has passed and I think it makes sense to reevaluate some of these goals. Firstly, the Teensy++ 2.0 has been discontinued by the manufacturer and I have to find a replacement. My plan was to migrate to the Teensy 3.5, the last of those microcontrollers with 5V tolerance, but they are unfortunately still impacted by the chip shortage, probably into 2024. As I'm currently using 41 GPIOs and plan on adding more, finding a replacement MCU has not been an easy task. The Arduino Mega could fit the bill, but I'm not a fan of the form factor, especially in a breadboard environment. So short of designing my own MCU board, I had to find another solution. The MCP2221A USB to UART interface I recently added to the project also includes a USB to I2C interface. So my plan for a Teensy replacement is now to make use of an I2C to GPIO expander, the MC23008, and move the debugger to a Python script executing on my laptop. With 6 of these chips, I should have enough GPIOs. I like this solution because then I don't have a whole MCU more powerful than the 65C816 running next to it. It is cleaner in a way. Additionally, there will only be one USB connection going to the board. The obvious drawback is the I2C overhead will make tracing the execution of the computer a lot slower, which will make debugging more of a pain. We'll see how much impact it has in real life. At the moment, I'm able to trace the computer execution at 120 kHz. You'll see that in a coming video. I expect this figure to drop by a lot over I2C. Secondly, I don't think adding a 6521 PIA makes sense anymore. I initially thought I would do the triad of Western Design Center in production chips, but after looking into it, I don't really see a reason why someone would choose this over a 6522. It is a weird chip. The output ports are impractical as they don't have the same capabilities as those on a VIA, so I think I will skip this one. Instead, I will dedicate this time to designing a proper expansion bus. I would like to come up with an expansion bus that contains all the necessary signals you would need to experiment with the computer and use a proper connector for it. The signals would need to be buffered to maintain signal integrity on the computer side. Then I can design a breakout PCB that takes this connector and interfaces it with a breadboard. So, what should you expect in terms of the next videos? First, I will bring you up to speed with a number of toolchain changes and small cleanups I worked on over the winter. Those are not necessarily fun new features, but there are things that bother me about the current design, and quality of life improvements for development. I have 2 videos coming on this subject. Then I will implement interrupt-based serial communications. As you know, the 6551 ACIA I added recently to the project has a hardware bug that makes this a tricky thing. I will dedicate a video to a nice solution to this problem, namely using one of the VIA's timer to replace the defective ACIA interrupt. Once we have reliable serial communications, I would like to port Supermon 816 to the platform. Supermon 816 is a machine language monitor written by 6502.org forums user Big Dumb Dinosaur. It is quite featureful, able to assemble and disassemble code, examine and write memory, etc. It will instantly turn the computer into a much more useful machine for development. After that, I will turn my focus to the 8-bit hex displays for a few videos with the goal of getting to manufactured modules. I expect this to take around 5 videos. And finally, I will resume my work on the computer and aim to produce a completed PCB for revision A of the project. Now, one question that has been bugging me since the beginning is how should I name this computer? In my mind, naming it will make it much more real and recognizable, and I've been looking for a name for a long time. So, I'm pleased to announce that I've decided to name the computer BB816. The BB stands for breadboard, which is a reminder of the origins of this project working on breadboards in my lab. It also lends itself to further projects down the road, such as BB02 for a 6502 platform, or BB86 for an x86 project. I hope you'll enjoy this name as much as I do. As you can see, I have a lot of ideas for this channel, and I hope you're as excited as I am for them. On that note, if you'd like to support this project and help me make this computer a reality, I have recently opened a Patreon. Your support will mean a lot to me, and it will help me with the purchase of parts and tools necessary to build this computer. I will put the link in the description box below. The next video will be about following up on my Teensy EEPROM programmer and adding a few features to it. I hope to see you then. Goodbye.